Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Here we are, Thursday, almost the end of another week. Crazy week. Had kicked it off with Martin Luther King Jr. Birthday celebration. Great civil rights leader, man of faith. Really great to celebrate his birthday. Inauguration on Wednesday. Fortunately, it seemed like everything went smooth, thankfully, peaceably, as much as it could be. And here we are, Thursday, day before we get to Friday and the weekend. And hopefully you've had a good week since I last talked to you on Monday. So let's actually go in. Got some interesting information, I think. Hopefully will be beneficial for you. And again, as always, if you have any questions or comments, certainly post. We'd love to dialogue. First thing, public service announcement, updates. I know I talk about updates like I talk about passwords all the time. Well, here's a couple of big things. First, Patch Tuesday of the year from Microsoft. Be warned, as much as I say, do your updates, this is one of those times where you might want to be cautious because apparently one of the cumulative updates from Microsoft is pushing computers into a reboot loop that you can't get out of. Can't get into safe mode. I have the article. I don't have the article right in front of me. Actually, I do have the article right in front of me right here. January patches KB 4598242 and 4598229. Yeah, it's not every computer, but you get the diagnosing your PC automatic repair loop. It won't let you get through it, and it seems to be the update KB4598229. So may want to hold off if your computer prompts you to restart. May want to hold off on this one. This is one of those ones. Yeah, be cautious. Be cautious. However, another update: Zoom. Update your Zoom. And actually now it has some more emojis and reactions. So update your Zoom. And also Google Chrome. So Google Chrome version 88 was out yesterday. If you don't know, go up to the three dots in the right-hand corner. If it's already downloaded, you'll see a icon on my relaunch. If not, go down to About Google Chrome or to Help About Google Chrome. It'll do the update automatically. Relaunch Chrome. All of your tabs will be there that you had. Boom, you're ready to go. What does version 88 have that version 87 didn't? Well, they have upgraded. They've added some personal security features, some of it being their built-in password manager, which isn't recommended. Don't use Chrome passwords. Don't save them in Chrome. They're too easy to get to. Don't do it. But there are some options. You can check if you have weak passwords. You can, it'll check the passwords and give you a breakdown of which ones are weak. You also have a single space to update all your Chrome managed passwords. So if you want to update a bunch of them at once, you have one spot to do that. If you have dark mode enabled on Windows 10, various Chrome built pages such as bookmarks and history should now have darkened scroll bars. File transfer protocol or FTP has been fully removed. So those are some of the things. Also Flash, which reached official end of life on December 31st of last year. On January 12th, Adobe also began blocking content from playing inside of Flash. With Chrome, 88 kills it. Again, FTP. One of the other things that Chrome has started doing last year and is now officially doing is blocking certain HTTP file downloads. So if you don't know, HTTP versus HTTPS. S is always the key. It's a little lock icon you see on your address bar. It means secure. So now Chrome will stop downloads where a user is accessing a web page that starts with HTTPS, but the file is downloaded from a location that starts with HTTP. It deems these as mixed and insecure downloads. So it won't allow you. That includes, it's going to block everything is blocked as far as executables, archives, all other non-safe types of PDFs, docs, Word docs, and now images, audio, video, and text. So just another thing. It's also removed support for older DL or DTLS protocols. So that is updates. So Windows, be cautious. May want to hold off a week or so. I'll update you as soon as I find out. 2, Zoom, update your Zoom. 3, Chrome, update your Chrome. So what if you don't want to use Chrome? What if you use something like Brave? Brave is a browser that's out there, another different browser, and they actually had big news. And this is something that I hadn't read a whole lot about. I heard about it. There is a type of navigation which is called IPFS, Interplanetary File System. It's a fairly obscure transport protocol. It's promising to really improve on the HTTP protocol. The idea is it's almost, the best way to describe it is almost like a Tor client or think a file sharing for the internet. So instead of it being information being housed in centralized servers, it's housed on computers all over the world. So you may be accessing information on, think Napster. It's like old school Napster. Anybody who's old enough to remember Napster, where you could share your music with everybody. Same concept. It's a peer-to-peer networking protocol, which allows information to be accessed faster. It's also decentralized, so there's no single point of failure. It's not just a server that fails. You've got all these computers where the information is available. So Brave is now out there, or is now supporting that, and you can actually access. You need the version 1.19 of the Brave browser, which is releasing today, and you'll access IPFS content by resolving your websites that start with IPFS. So instead of HTTPS : / or // it's IPFS. You can also opt to install a full IPFS node in one click, making their browser a node. So you make your browser a node in this peer-to-peer network. Not sure about how I feel about that in terms of security and accessibility. I'll find out. But IPFS, we'll see. It's out there. Brave browser, you can use it. Some new products coming out. I've said, and it's still hard, the demand for laptops just hasn't caught up with, or the supply hasn't caught up with the demand. It's still very hard to find laptops. Acer and Lenovo are releasing some new products. Acer specifically is launching some new Chromebooks. They're refreshing the Spin 512, Spin 511, the newest Intel N4500 and N5100 processors. They'll have 360-degree hinges, so it can open fully open to the tablet. Batteries that run 10 hours. We'll have a 8-megapixel world-facing camera. And let's see, the 512 has a 12-inch screen. Makes sense, 512, 12. And 511 has an 11.6-inch screen. They will be available in configurations to support up to 64 gigs of basically the flash memory and 8 gigs of RAM. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1 support, 2 USB ports. They're also were made to be durable, so they're designed for the classroom to be bumped, to be dropped. They have a shock-absorbing bumper and designed to adhere to military standards. Let's see. We'll support Google Play. Spin 512 will be available in North America in April at around $430, and the 511 around the same time at $399. There's also going to be 2 new Spin convertibles. There's going to be let's see, the Chromebook 511, which will promise has up to 20 hours of battery life, and the Chromebook 311, which can last up to 20 hours as well. Both have HDR webcams and can be upgraded with an optional touchscreen display. Sorry. Again, North America, mid-April. Let's see, the Chromebook 511, $400, 311, $300. And then finally, Acer introduced a Windows TravelMate Spin B3 laptop for education. It's also convertible like the other ones. Wi-Fi 6 connectivity, 5-megapixel webcam, Intel Pentium Silver processors, 12 hours between charges, again in April for $330. So Lenovo, they decided to come out. They're using a technology called Sensel. Sensel is force sensing technology. Again, don't know much about it, but it's they've showed up a touchpad that uses this technology in other laptops. And the Lenovo X1 Titanium Yoga, their ThinkPad, is going to be the first one to use it. It's going to be the thinnest ever ThinkPad. It literally is going to be 11.5 millimeters thick, and it'll weigh 2.5 pounds. That's impressive. That's amazing. It's said that the Sensor's ultra-thin sensor can detect X and Y position with high accuracy and also do force sensing in the Z direction, so down. Allows for a dramatic reduction in device thickness. And so the Lenovo ThinkPad Yoga X1 Titanium Yoga will have an 11th generation Core i7 vPro processor, up to 16 gigs of memory, terabyte SSD drive, 5G connectivity, 13.5 inches. Should be coming out sometime this month at $1,900. $1,900. So something to look at. Think about it. Speaking of technology, there's been some studies done recently about smartwatches and COVID detection, and they have found Apple Watch, Fitbit, Garmin. There's a bunch of them out there, but a study by Mount Sinai researchers, they followed a group of 297 healthcare workers for about a half a year, and they noted heartbeat changes that may indicate someone has the coronavirus a full week before they were sick. Pretty good, especially if you're asymptomatic. Stanford University also did a study. People were wearing trackers from Garmin, Fitbit, and Apple, and others. They found that 81% of patients testing positive for COVID-19 also saw changes in their resting heart rate up to 9.5 days before presenting symptoms. So another reason why a smartwatch may be beneficial, may provide information. Not sure where you fall on that spectrum, but could happen, could help. I was blind, but now I see. This was really cool, and I had to share this one. 70 legally blind 78-year-old man received a new type of corneal implant. It was developed by a company called Cornete. It's called the K-Pro. It's the first implant that can be integrated directly into the eye wall to replace scarred or deformed corneas with no donor tissue. And it says immediately after the surgery, the patient was able to recognize family members and read numbers on an eye chart. Interesting. Now, artificial cornea implants already exist, but since they're pretty complex, they usually are a last resort. Apparently, inserting this cornea transplant is a relatively simple procedure. It requires minimal stitches and cutting, and it stimulates cellular proliferation, leading to progressive tissue integration. This is in Israel. There are 10 more patients approved for trials in Israel and plans to open 2 more this month in Canada. 6 others in the approval process for France, US, and the Netherlands. So kind of cool technology. Really neat. Interesting. Keeping with the technology theme, let's go. Kroger smart carts. Kroger is testing a new smart cart that will actually eliminate stopping to pay at checkout. And they're doing this in the Cincinnati area right now. And what it does is the shoppers can load their cart up with groceries, then pay by swiping their credit card at the cart, then go to the parking lot. Boom. Let's see. It will enable shoppers to assemble the order without having to scan items as carts begin to recognize a box of cereal, a pound of apples. So kind of cool. Cart includes a built-in scale to measure items sold by weight and a built-in screen that can deliver shopping list recommendations, promotional offers, and wayfinding capabilities. Customers bag their own items using store bags or reusable bags they bring. But kind of cool. I'm not surprised Amazon's doing this with Whole Foods. Yeah, curious to see. But smart carts, new technology. And in the technology field, and I haven't heard much about this, but GDPR, which came out a couple years ago, intended to give more control of users over their data and what happens with companies that are not protecting their data, their clients or customer data. And so been a huge surge in fines for the GDPR in the EU. Since January 28th of last year, so roughly a year, the EU has issued around 192 million in financial penalties, 39% increase over the previous 20-month period. So pretty impressive. And if you put that in context, the number of breach notifications has shot up by 19% across this same 12-month period. So there is a correlation there. Italy, Germany, and France, 3 countries most willing to sanction. They've collectively charged about 234 million since GDPR came into force. Biggest single fine was 57 million from France against Google. UK, 123 million for the Marriott data breach, which was trimmed down to 25 million. But it appears that the EU is tightening up. There's been a big push Apple CEO Tim Cook has been one that's pushing in this country for the U.S. to have a GDPR-style regulatory body. A lot of people think that the Government Accountability Office would be a good, or the Government Accountability Office says the rules are needed, and it's suggested the FTC is best placed to act as regulator. Not sure how I feel about that, but I think it's coming anyway, especially when you had the California Consumer Privacy Act. There's going to be stuff that's coming down, especially especially with everything that happened with the SolarWinds breach and how it just continues going out, which Malwarebytes has revealed that it was also targeted by the same nation-state actor implicated in SolarWinds. It says that whatever was being attacked, they did not use the SolarWinds IT software. However, they found out about the intrusion when Microsoft, their security response center, reported suspicious activity from a third-party app in its Office 365 environment, consistent with the techniques, and procedures used by the actors behind the SolarWinds breach. Malware says that they did an investigation, only gained access to a limited subset of internal company emails. No evidence of unauthorized access. So, yeah, this is just continuing to go and go and go and go and go. The FBI has issued a warning, and I had seen this, some rumors about this, where issued a warning related to vishing, V-I-S-H-I-N-G. That's voice phishing attacks. It's a form of cybercrime, social engineering over a telephone. The idea is to gain access to private personal or financial information, but it's done over the phone. Vishing, V-I-S-H-I-N-G. Says that companies or cyber criminals are focusing on operations to target employees of companies who maintain network access and an ability to escalate network privileges. They're also saying they're collaborating to target both U.S.-based and international-based employees, especially those companies that are using VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. So it's just another type of information. And typically what's happening during these attacks, employees are tricked into logging a phishing web page. It captures their username and password. They then use that to get in and escalate privileges on compromised accounts, which then allows them to move around the company network. This goes back to with so many more people working from home. You may be getting calls from numbers that you don't recognize, and you're answering it, and boom, you got it. So always trust but verify, and I always recommend doing what they call out-of-band verification. If you get a phone call, send an email. If you get an email, make a phone call. Text message. Do something that's not the same, within the same band. So not phone call to phone call, not email to email. So they can use, these people can use software to pretend that they're calling from within the business or to be the IT department. So you just got to be careful, be careful, be careful. Trust, but verify. Trust, but verify. And it says right here, not me saying it, use an out-of-band communication tool, like an internal chat program, email, and other programs. So be careful, vishing over phone. And I'm sure a lot of us get more phone calls than we care to acknowledge. Just be careful. Oh, excuse me. So what do you want to know about? Let me know. We'll know more about smartwatch, COVID detection, the Malwarebytes. Is there any issues if you use Malwarebytes? Let me know. Or something else. If you have a question, post it in the comments. We'd love the dialogue and talk about it. And I appreciate everybody for watching. We'll tune in on Saturday. It's, 6 p.m. for the weekly recap. And actually, I take it back. It'll be 5 p.m. because I have a 6 p.m. commitment. So 5 p.m. will be the weekly recap. Until then, have a great finish to your Thursday evening, a great finish to your week, and I will see you on Saturday. Take care. Bye.